It is about that time. It is absolutely about that time for Supergirl. Hold on. Yep, you got stuck. I sure actually got stuck. Cool. Oh yeah, verse. Woo! It's that time. We're actually getting a Supergirl movie despite all the drama that's going on with Warner Brothers. Verse, I was so excited for this movie that I left work early. You heard me. I am watching this trailer. I'm not going to come back exhausted, having to do this rushed. No, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts, let you know what I have going on, let you know what I think is going to be going on with the DC universe of James Gunn, and even all the outrage and all these opinions that's blowing up on X, Instagram, all this nonsense that I've been hearing for people that haven't even seen the trailer before today. That's what I'm talking about. Just from that mini little bit 15-second teaser, people were already making these dumbass assumptions. So before I give you my opinion and my critique of what we're about to watch, I'm clearly going to react to it and be honest with you about it. If it's great, I'm going to praise the shit out of it. If it's ass, oh Lord have mercy. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. But I'm going to be honest with you. I am very confident that James Gunn has a solid plan when it comes down to all these films. I've even heard that he's not necessarily involved with Supergirl, and what I mean by that is that he didn't write it and he didn't direct it, obviously, right? He's gonna have other people coming in, helping him do these projects. So I believe James Gunn is just a producer, and obviously he's the head of the DC studios right now for, you know, making the films because he has this 10-year plan of what's going on. So I'm very confident that James Gunn knows what he's doing, okay? Superman came out. I loved it. I had some nitpicks about it, but I did enjoy it. I'm invested in this new Superman. Now they tease in the end of that movie Supergirl. We're gonna be reacting to this trailer. So with that said, verse, let's get to it. Alright, verse. Here we go. Okay.
You managed to get most of it on the paper this time.
Wait, okay.
Good job, buddy.
I mean, it's not on Superman literally, so we'll say that.
Hi, cars are out. Hereby declare 2023 will be the best year yet.
Okay. Visually, it looks really good, the cinematography so far.
Let's be honest, babe, it's not a very high bar to clear.
Different director.
When you were still alive, what was it like to lose everything in a day?
Oh, wow.
In a day. The gods are not that kind.
That has to be Brainiac.
Okay, this does not look like this is gonna end well.
Okay.
What are you guys?
Okay.
Do others on your planet have powers like you?
I really like how it looks.
You're over too.
What, Superman?
Oh shit! We got Lobo?
He sees the good in everyone. And I see the truth.
Okay. Okay. Well, that was Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Alright, my thoughts on the trailer of Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Did it get me as excited as I was when I reacted to Superman? No. But I will say I do like what I see here because this is accurate to the comic of Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. As you may know, these films are going to be adapted from a lot of the old school or even some popular comics that were here prior. I know some people are really iffy about it for some reason. I don't know why. But what I will say though, the actress who is playing Supergirl, I think is doing a phenomenal job, alright? She's in character with what they're doing. A lot of people are complaining that they don't like the way how she is all like, not really giving a shit, you know, she's kind of here and there, she's just kind of drinking, and she's like, whatever, bro, you know, you're a bitch. Guys, it's a character arc. That's what you call a character arc, okay? Everybody did it, alright? Luke Skywalker complained about something converters, and then in the end, you see him in episode 6, talking to the Emperor, talking about that, oh yeah, spaceships don't bother me being blown up. I mean, I see it all the time. It's called maturing. Okay? She's a young girl, she's 23 years old. Things are going to happen to a point where she's going to be a lot more mature in the end, okay? Damn near every character has gone through that, okay? I don't know why Supergirl is so different. Just to put another thing out there. In the end of Superman, people were literally saying that they didn't like the fact that when Supergirl came in, she looked pretty cool. People were excited to see her, that they didn't like the fact that she called Superman a bitch. Guys, they're family. They're cousins. You're telling me that you never talked shit to your cousins before? You never like messed around and be like, hey bitch, put that shit back down. Like, you meant to tell me you never mess around or like started talking smack with like a sibling or your cousin? Everybody does that. Why are they so different? I just don't understand that logic. People were really complaining about that, and I'm like, but guys, that's in character. Like, they're family. And when it comes down now to this, right, to the actual trailer. Let me get into this before I get into all the other stuff. I don't want to get sidetracked. The trailer, honestly, I liked the feel of it, okay? It definitely gives you this fun, exciting a vibe of her going into space, because let's be real, for DC, we haven't really gotten anything about any of the Superman or Superman characters or DC characters really being in space. Everything has been down to Earth. And here with Supergirl, we're finally gonna see that. I'm excited for that. Visually, it looks really stunning, right? I didn't see one little piece of CGI where I was like, ooh, yeah, they gotta work on that. No, everything looked pretty solid. Like, you can tell, everything's polished. That's what I'm trying to say. It's polished, it's good to look at, it feels real. I'm happy about that. The choreography, not great, not really like something to like really flip over about, but I will say, I think maybe they're hiding it until the release of the film. Again, you don't want to give everything away in your trailer, right? But you do want people to come see it. That's fine. I like her confidence, by the way. Supergirl, for those of you that don't know, has anger management problems. Here, I feel like they're not going to show that in the trailer. Again, that's fine, but if they do that in the film, it's going to do her justice, because that is her character. And when it comes down to her kind of dealing with some stuff, you got to understand, if you don't know the lore of Supergirl, then you're not going to understand why she is the way how she is in the manner of her being portrayed. You got to understand something, alright? And I'll explain this to you really quickly. Supergirl, right, originally was in charge of Superman when he was just a baby. When they ended up leaving, she was supposed to help raise him and teach him right from wrong. Unfortunately, something happened where like their space pods got separated, and Superman ended up going directly where he needed to go, which was Earth, and she somehow got sidetracked to the point where she didn't age for a certain amount of time. It's a bunch of stuff I can go into it, but I'm trying to give you the short version. Then when she ends up coming out of this whole situation, she ends up running into Superman, and he's aged. He's older. He's the Superman that we know him now. And obviously, when she found out that she has missed out on him growing up, she's now coming to cope of, okay, well now my little cousin's older than me. It's just me and him. My planet's gone. I'm depressed. I watched my whole civilization die. I mean, it explains why she's the way how she is, because she just doesn't give a fuck right now. She's basically depressed a little bit, you know, so she's trying to cope with what she witnessed. Superman never witnessed any of that. She witnessed it. So I understand what they were doing here. When I saw the way how she was in the end of Superman, I was like, okay, I get why she's like that. I already know why. If you haven't read the comic, yeah, you're not going to understand why she's the way how she is. And then when it comes down to Krypto, I expect Krypto to be here. I mean, even in the comic, Krypto was there. Obviously, Krypto's Supergirl's dog, I guess, in this universe. So I'm totally fine with that. That doesn't bother me. The villains, I'm be honest with you, I'm not sure who the villains are in this trailer, other than one, Lobo. They teased Jason Momoa, and just for that quick glance, I will say he looked bad ass, okay? I just wish, even though I don't want them to spoil too much, I just wish I saw just a tad bit more. just a little bit more, please. Just a little bit. But I think they might save him for probably the main trailer. You know they're going to show him at some point. And I'm just saying, Jason Momoa as Lobo is perfect casting, alright? Even though in this trailer he hadn't said anything, I already buy him as Lobo because he has the look. Even though, yes, previously in the Zack Snyder first, he was Aquaman, so we all bought him as Aquaman, and I think he did a great job as the character. But now, since we're doing this whole new reboot, I think James Gunn did a great job casting Jason Momoa as Lobo. He just fits the character. I can't wait to see him just do what he does and him being all over the top and crazy. It's gonna be sick. I'm really looking forward to that. Superman, I've already heard rumors that this film, towards the end, they already did some reshoots, and it's because they want to bring in Superman in here. And I even heard rumors that perhaps Lex Luthor might be in here. That does not bother me. I'm looking forward to that. I will also say that there's characters in here, like I said, like this little girl. I'm not sure who she is, so there's a possibility that she's gonna be protecting her. I mean, I would just really say not too much to say here because it is just a teaser trailer. I'm gonna go into that in a little bit. Now, for the negatives, okay? There are some negatives here. So I understand that right off the bat, everybody loves Crypto. He's very lovable, right? I loved him in the last one. I might love him here, except for one thing. I will say, it's... I get that Crypto's basically untrained right now. He needs more training, but for some reason, like, he seems to really goof around a lot when it comes down to Superman. Like, he treats him in a certain manner a little bit. You know, there was already rumors that I heard that supposedly Crypto pees on Superman, and I was like, wait, what? But no, it's just a picture, and then Crypto peed on the picture. I'm like... alright, okay, I don't really... I mean, it's not entirely bad. I mean, better the newspaper than his actual foot. I feel like people will really lose their shit if he actually peed on Superman. People will be like, what is it with you and mocking Superman? Like, what is the problem here? It wasn't really that, but I will say it is kind of random. Again, comedy. When it comes down to the vibe here, I will also say, yes, because this is James Gunn, a lot of people are making comparison that Supergirl is giving Guardian of the Galaxy vibes here, which, yeah, I'll be honest with you, Guardians of the Galaxy did it first. James Gunn wrote and directed each and every one of those films. Alright, now that he's doing this, we're doing Supergirl. But guys, honestly, to me, I don't really get that entirely because a bunch of characters have been in space, you know? They're all gonna come off like this. People were comparing Supergirl to Star-Lord because of the jacket, or the coat, right? And I'm kinda like... So? So what? Star-Lord is the only one that can wear a coat? I mean, look, Superman had all these powers and had a cape and everything, and then all these other characters from either DC or Marvel are wearing cape and are as strong as Superman. You don't hear me complaining. Superman ain't the only one that can fly. Superman ain't the only one with a cape. What's wrong with her wearing a coat? I just don't... I feel like people are just over-exaggerating on that image. I don't understand the backlash for that. When it comes down to some of the characters here, I will say it's not as, like, super... crazy as it was with Superman, the action. Again, this is a different character. I am a little cautious when it comes down to Supergirl, because for those of you that may not know, when Christopher Reeves came out with the Superman films, right, the 4 that he did, and then with each one they got worse and worse and worse. At one point they also made a Supergirl movie back in the 80s, I believe, or was it the 90s? But they made that the movie like a little small DC universe back then, and it was horrible. It did not do well. Alright, that Supergirl acted like a baby, like she didn't know what this and that was. Production was hilarious. Most of the time she didn't realize that she could fly, even though she knew she could fly. It was just a stupid ass movie. I hated that film. And you know, recently she was referenced in the Flash film, if you've seen that, when they were doing the whole parallel thing. Now here, with this new version of Supergirl, I'm a lot more confident because she is more in character. I could tell they're having fun with her, and I feel like it's not going to be anywhere near what they did back then. So that's my biggest thing that I'm actually happy about. And a lot of people are also comparing this Supergirl from the actress who played Supergirl in the CW show. Look guys, the CW show, you know, there's like, what, 22 episodes every season for those 5 or 6 seasons of Supergirl, and each season it got worse. People are saying they prefer her character a lot better. Me, honestly, I don't. I feel like they kind of went too far in some things on that show, and they kind of ruined her character a little bit in that show. I'm just not a fan of that Supergirl anymore. I liked it in the beginning, and then as they got more and more and more over the top with it, they just killed it for me. But this Supergirl, you know, people are really being harsh with her just because of this one little teether, or maybe because of the way how she's being portrayed. I'm gonna go into now what it is that I wanted to talk about. So, James Gunn yesterday was teasing the Supergirl trailer coming out today, right? And he teased it by showing this little mini trailer, right? This little commercial right here. Let's watch it. I like that. Pretty cool. Exciting. I loved it. I was like, alright, cool. It's just a little nitpick. Guys, from that amount of 15 seconds, 15 measly seconds, people were already trashing the film. Oh my gosh, this looks horrible. Oh, this is gonna be garbage. Oh my gosh, do you see what they're doing? They're clearly copying Guardians of the Galaxy, this and that. I'm like, so you're gonna get all of that, the little 15-second trailer, really? So you already know how the film's gonna be just from that. People are already saying, oh, there's no point. I prefer the Supergirl show. Guys, calm the hell down. You can't make an assumption like that from a little 15-second trailer. Let me tell you something, alright? I'm gonna bring in Marvel a little bit. Doomsday is already having problems on set, alright? It's well known at this point that a lot of the actors are just clashing with each other, and people have even quit that production because the actors are being complicated, alright? Because the writers are getting tired of rewriting, doing this and that. If Doomsday, now that they announced they're going to be releasing a teaser this month, wow, surprising after Supergirl, I'm telling you, if they release a teaser, and if I reacted to that little 15-second clip and I started talking shit, people will be coming at me. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. It's just a 15-second teaser. Oh, there's a lot more. You seen the cast, it's like over 70 people. Okay, then so then if you don't want me to talk shit about that, then why are you giving Supergirl such a hard time for it? You guys are nitpicking. Calm down. It's just a teaser. They're not going to give you everything right off the bat. Right now, what they're doing right now with the teaser that I just watched, I think it's fine. It's not great. I mean, you could even say, oh, other movies have probably done it better. That's fine. And this whole thing with the Guardians of the Galaxy, guys, the dude who directed Guardians of the Galaxy and who wrote the damn films is in charge of DC. Of course it's fucking similar. It's common sense. I don't understand the logic there. What are you complaining about? It's really the same as the Guardians movie. Really? Huh, it's almost like the guy who did the film is doing this film a little bit. You ever thought of that, you know? Because he's in charge of the universe? Because it was his idea? Because he has a plan? Did you think of that? You know, I don't understand how people just go so far with it. And then a lot of people are even attacking the little teaser in the movie already just because they said that they've read the comic and they didn't like it. People are already saying they prefer the old school comics. Look, guys, I'm gonna be real with you. Comics are always gonna take risks with certain characters and have new versions of them, and either you're gonna like them or you're not. There's already versions of certain heroes that I already do not like, okay? And I prefer the old ones already, okay? And then there's some old comics that I don't like to the point where I prefer some of the new shit. It's a losing battle regardless of what you choose, okay? You can't satisfy everyone. That's just how it works. I don't understand why people are nitpicking and comparing just from this little bit of what we got here. It's just so over-exaggerated. I don't understand that. I mean, perfect example, Red Hood. For those of you that don't know, DC recently released a Red Hood comic, and it got trampled horribly. Okay, horribly. Because the writer had no idea what she was fucking doing, alright? She was woke as fuck. She wanted to go ahead and try to put her sexual fantasies into this comic to the point where when you open the first fucking page, the first thing he says is, man, the mist here really is, it reminds me of saliva. And I was like, what? I remember I read that and I was like, what did she put in there? Wait, who the fuck talks like that? That's so stupid. And now it did so bad that DC's like, send him back. like, can you give it back? And now people are trying to keep him as a collectible because of how awful it was. It's god awful. So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's either you like it or you don't. It's not the end of the world. There's gonna be more versions, more portrayals. All right, Supergirl, you know they're gonna do more with her other than this film. Calm down. But other than that though, verse, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do here. I already have a feeling Superman's not going to come up until the very end or probably in a cameo. They tell he's going to come in the last minute. I'd be very surprised if he came in the beginning or maybe in the middle, because now that we know Lobo is here and obviously Supergirl and Krypto are going to be here, they're going to be focused a lot around her. And I hope they do because it's Supergirl's film, not Superman. So I'd be fine with that. Does it look fun? Yeah, it really does. It looks fun. Is it something I want to see? You know I'm going to go see it. You already know. I will call off work just to go see that film as soon as possible. Absolutely. So other than that though, verse, I mean, I just wanted to give you guys my perspective on that. I know I went on a bit of a rant. My apology. The action seems like it's going to be all over the top here and there since they're in space. I'm looking forward to seeing that being portrayed from DC. My team, my heroes, okay? So with that said though, verse, if you like what you saw, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification for more content as always. Look forward to the next video, verse, and with that said, I'll see you next time. Later, verse.